Yesterday was Passion Sunday, which marks the beginning of Passiontide, the last 2 weeks of Lent before Easter. And in my daily devotional Encounters with God, my reading today picked up the Gospel story in Mark's Gospel at chapter 14. And the reading covers the plot against Jesus, the anointing at Bethany, and also Judas agreeing to betray Jesus. And I would just like to share with you the verses about the anointing at Bethany. While he was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at the table, a woman came with an alabaster jar of very costly ointment of nard. And she broke open the jar and poured the ointment on his head. But some were there who said to one another in anger, "Why was all the ointment wasted in this way? For this ointment could have been sold for more than 300 denarii, and the money given to the poor." And they scolded her. But Jesus said, "Let her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has performed a good service for me. For you always have the poor with you, and you can show them kindness to them whenever you wish, but you will not always have me. She has done what she could. She has anointed my body beforehand for its burial. Truly I tell you, wherever the good news is proclaimed in the whole world, what she has done will be told in remembrance of her." I was struck by the story of the woman anointing Jesus and how she gives her all to honour him. She pours out this really expensive perfume. She does that in recognition that he is the Messiah, the anointed one. And it is a foretaste, as he says there, of his burial to come. And this woman, she risks her reputation, she gives in terms of material goods, and she is extravagant in her love and her actions. And yet she is vilified by the disciples. They are angry and they're critical. They have different perspectives and expectations. And yet Jesus says that this woman has done him a good service. On the face of it, we may think that the disciples had a point, that the wasteful action of pouring out expensive oil could indeed have provided food on the table of many. That's logical to think like that. But they miss the main point. They miss what this woman has recognised in Jesus, that he is the Messiah. And the pouring out of oil would mirror the pouring out of his blood on the cross. The outpouring of love and forgiveness that will flow from his wounds, the wounds of his passion, as he freely gave himself for us. And this story perhaps pulls us up short. It maybe makes us to reappraise the times when perhaps we are critical of others, or where we have different expectations of other people. And instead, perhaps what we should be concentrating on is on the generosity, the thoughtful, the love and the selflessness that's shown. And this is something at this time we are seeing over and over again in our communities as we care for one another, and as people in the NHS, in social care and in other areas of work continue to care and give themselves. And we are very thankful for that. Amen.